Jay Simon's Morning Blend is a brand new play coming out April the 6th until April the 23rd. It's called What the Constitution Means to Me. Today, I have Riley Carter Adams, and she has a pivotal role in this. And Michelle, what is your role in this?
I
Michelle,
actually I play Heidi Schreck, who is the playwright, and she uses this as a vehicle to recreate a contest that she used to do as a 15-year-old going around the country, where she won prize money to put herself through school. And the show features at the end a live 15-minute debate that Miss Riley Carter Adams is the front and center star of.
ooh, Riley, a debate. So this is a verbal debate, not a right, right.
Oh,
Yeah, none of this. Though it gets pretty spicy. It gets pretty
No.
spicy.
Tell us about the debate, Riley.
um, I just recently started debate in school, so I like kind of get to compare it to like the real thing kind of. And we do have like lines that we have like prepared points, but the show relies a lot on improv just because like it's supposed to be like each one is special because we're creating this moment that is like based on just like quick thinking. Um, but we have these prepared points, and the idea is that both characters are very passionate about the Constitution. And so that's why they're able to like debate both sides. But like Heidi's side is like, I'm trying to revisit this point in my life that I really value and that's important. And my side is I'm just going through that point in my life. And so these like two different generational perspectives on this one issue, kind of like uniting these two ideas.
Speaking of which, let's do this right now. So, Riley, what does the Constitution really mean to you?
I think the Constitution means to me kind of like this idea of like freedom and liberty and this government that like supports all these people. And we talk a lot about this in the play. The execution might not be the most perfect, but the idea is there, especially with the amendments, because the whole thing they're supposed to do is keep us moving forward, but still having the basis of our history. And I thought a lot about that because, like, a lot of what we have going on is America's like our history, like whether it's the problem or the solution to an idea. And I think it's like really important.
Michelle, you're Heidi. So, what does the Constitution mean to you? Especially, this is the 100th anniversary of the rights movement for women, the right to vote. And it is International Women's Month. So, let's talk about that.
Well, one thing that is it's sort of the central structure of the play is as Heidi is recreating this contest that she used to do when she was 15, where she would talk about how much she loves the Constitution. In order to win these contests, she tells the audience, you have to make a personal connection between the document and your own life. And so she ends up tracing it through four generations of the women in her family to the present day, to the generation that includes Riley in it. So the connection between how this document, in terms of what its intent was, what its promise was, its aspiration was, and then what actually ends up in our society being the way that it gets enforced, that had a very direct impact on four different generations, and sometimes those impacts were traumatic. So I think for me, one thing that this play has really reminded me is that the Constitution, it's a living document. Like it's not just in this glass case somewhere at the Smithsonian Museum. Rather, it is something that, because of the amendment structure, we can change and infuse with new life that reflects the present moment, a better understanding of ourselves. Riley has this great line in the play where she talks about, according to our Constitution, this little pocket Constitution, some people don't even become human beings until page 34. So we take what the founding fathers began and we can carry that work forward and really make this a document that serves the people. And I think that that is what this play has done for me, has reminded me that there is hope, that this document is flexible enough for us to really reclaim it as what its original intention was.
Wow, both of you ladies are heavy hitters. So I'm going to ask this question. I got to ask this. And I'm going to start off with you, Michelle. Being
Sure.
an adult, seeing other adults, do you think they really understand or know what the Constitution really means?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think our present moment, one advantage of the present moment is that with the political turmoil we've been in, is that I think people are thinking of the political as personal in a way that maybe they didn't before, especially those of us that were able to occupy maybe an area of privilege where you could sort of hold things at arm's length if you wanted to. Nobody gets to do that anymore. The pandemic, I think, really brought that home. We are responsible for each other. And it truly is united we stand or divided we fall. And not understanding these documents, not understanding what's really in this incredible piece of paper, I think kind of comes at our own peril because we're missing out on this incredible tool that we have to make sure that we are taking care of each other, where we can take that obligation we have and enshrine it into laws that actually serve us every day.
Riley, you're in seventh grade. How many other seventh graders really understand what the Constitution means?
I don't really think I know any personally because I don't really understand the Constitution myself. Like before the show, to me, it felt like mainly a part of history, not really something that is still affecting me now. Because, like, if I picture it in my head, the base Constitution is kind of like maybe like six cinder blocks stacked on like two rows. But then now it's being like built on top of and built on top of, kind of to be this like empire that we just have to like live in. And half the people, not even half, four-fifths of the people living here like don't even remember that the cinder blocks are there because it's taught over and over and over and over again as something that happened, not something that is happening. So it's like just not, it doesn't seem important when really it's like really very important to like how we kind of function as a country. So
Okay, Riley. I've been sitting here talking to Riley and Michelle about a play called What the Constitution Means to Me. It runs April 6th to 23rd at the Marcel Theater, 3310 Samuel Shepherd Drive here in St. Louis. Ladies, thank you again so much for exploding my mind and my audience mind. We really appreciate it. Thank you again for joining us on Morning Blend.
Thank you so much. Hope you join us. Take care.